So one thing I've come to realize is usually at that time you feel like you're the strongest is when something is coming around to first get you back in check to understand that, man, you still have a lot to learn, you still have a lot of growing to do. So same thing applies to the reverse. Usually when you think at your absolute worst is when somehow fortunes do change. So in this video I'm just going to share a bit of my backstory of the time I had my worst sales experience. It got me humble, it got me back in shape. I can now live a more comfortable life. Please do not laugh. If you can leave a comment, it's so that I also feel good, like other people are not suffering, like are suffering as well, like me. All right, so now this story goes back in about 2018. Now at that point in time, I was on a roll. I was closing. I was wherever I touched, I was like magic. I was closing all these big corporations across the world. Now there's this bank in South Africa called FNB. It's the First National Bank of South Africa. I was, of course, engaging these gentlemen, seeking out a partnership, telling them, man. Now, usually these conversations take a while to close. So I think it goes around 6 months. Of course, everything is looking positive. Now, what happens is this guy tells me, the guy is called Stuart. He's like, you know what? Such deals don't usually get concluded over phone. So it means you have to fly down here to South Africa and kind of have this concluded. But what the gentleman told me is what confused me a bit. Now, when he explained this to me, he told me, you know what? Just come, let's have a first preliminary meeting and we see how that goes. Now, in my head, I had an expectation of, you know what, this is probably going to be something. I don't know, it's an introductory meeting. It kind of gave me no direction of where exactly this is going to go. So, of course, I get onto a flight, jump in, we're moving. It's a bit of a cold day. The time I get into South Africa, it was actually drizzling a bit. I made an error, ordered for the wrong Uber. Got in, we go. I go through the jam. I'm here talking with my Uber guy. Yeah, it looks like a good day. Now, given that, of course, I anticipated that this is going to be a small meeting, I also went casually. I went alone. I thought maybe we're going to be two, we're going to be three. I get to FNB, I give the gentleman a call, comes down for me. I even thought maybe we're going to have it like at a restaurant or something of the sort. So that when the gentleman comes and says, you know what, since you're here, it's a good thing. What do you think? Maybe we should have this up in our office. And we're like, no problem. Let's go up to the office. We go up. I walk upstairs. Of course, you're making small talk here and there. So how are things? South Africa? how are things moving? Yeah. Now I go. We literally go up the stairs step by step. Of course, you're communicating. We get into the office. The man swipes his card. Um, I get in. I'm looking. Of course, everyone is doing their work as we're walking through FNB, and yeah, I get to the extreme end of the office. I'm getting to this extreme end of the office. The man opens up that door. I get in like this. I find a huge table from this side up to the other side. The thing had like 20 plus people waiting for me. Now, in my head, I did not anticipate that. I literally thought, do you know what? We are going to have two, three people. That is it at max. So I went like, casually. First of all, the way I was dressed. Now, the way this guy structured the boardroom is everyone sat this side. So I first had to walk through to the very end of the boardroom. You get out your laptop, the thing begins restarting. At that time, you begin trying to make small talk to calm your nerves down. You're laughing, like no one is laughing along. Ah! Hmm. Anyway, somehow I was like, you know what, this is a big opportunity. I had to talk myself down because it literally got me off guard. And that was the first time I was maneuvering such a situation. And it got me to think, you always thought you are the best. But based on this situation, how exactly are you going to still maneuver it? I still don't know how I was able to close that deal. I had to calm my nerves down. I had to get to the basics. I had to begin looking at people's faces. But yes, that got me thinking of, man, it's very easy to begin to perceive yourself as, you know what, I've reached probably the top, until usually once in a while a curveball is thrown back to you that shows you that, man, regardless of how much you think at that you're at the top, it's just the top of that given layer you're at. You still have a drop and so much more to ascend. So never in your head get to think that the best, because the moment you begin thinking that, it begins to give you the impression like you have nothing more to learn, which is honestly not the truth. You always have a lot more to learn. You always have a lot of growth to go through, and that is what taught me, man. You always need to be humble. Don't never just think that because you've been succeeding at this for such a long time, nothing is going to come that could lead you to go down. Yes, don't forget, in case you're interested in sales content, I share a ton of sales content on my channel. And most importantly, if you're looking for a way of supporting me, I have a new sales AI that I launched. It literally finds customers for you. Number one, it engages these customers for you and follows up on your behalf. It becomes like more or less a sales rep in your office. Huh? And does a lot of your dirty work on your behalf. In a normal month, it could possibly talk to 3,000, 4,000 people on your behalf. So imagine how much more of an opportunity to drive for you. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, either hit me up or visit monkeypesa.com/AI. The link is right here. That's all from me, folks, today. Bye bye. Don't forget to follow my channel.